Chosen one. Stop everything for a moment and listen closely. You are not scrolling here by accident. Heaven has circled a date on the calendar of time, and it is pressing urgently into your spirit. That date is October 16. This is not just another ordinary day. This is not a day to treat lightly, as if it were one among thousands. You have been summoned to hear this warning, because you carry a mantle that the world cannot explain. Others can walk blindly, but you cannot. You are chosen. You have felt it before, the whispers in your heart, the strange pull when others seem numb, the inner stirring that keeps you awake when everyone else sleeps. You know something is shifting in the unseen realms. October 16 is not a random point on a calendar. It is a dividing line. And your response to this message will determine whether you walk covered in divine favor or stumble unprepared into traps set against you. Many around you are distracted, lulled into slumber by the noise of the world. They say, "It's just another day." But the Spirit is declaring otherwise. The heavens are aligning, and destiny is drawing near. You cannot afford to ignore this prophetic sign. Think of the weight of this moment. There are moments in history where nations pivot, where lives are redefined, where destinies are sealed. For you, October 16 carries that kind of magnitude. This is why your spirit is restless. This is why you feel the intensity rising even before the day arrives. Do not dismiss what you are hearing. You may try to reason it away, to tell yourself you are overthinking. But deep within, you already know the truth. This is divine intervention. Heaven has stopped you here to speak directly to you. As the ancient writings declare in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1, "For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven." Chosen one. This is your season to awaken. This is the time to step into clarity. Every battle you've endured, every tear you've cried, every night you wondered why you were still standing, it was all preparing you for what lies ahead. October 16 will test the foundations of your faith, and while others are caught unaware, you will not be. You have been given foresight. You have been given warning. And here is what you must understand. With knowledge comes responsibility. You cannot say you weren't told. You cannot say you didn't hear. Heaven has entrusted you with revelation. And now you must respond. Will you prepare or will you delay? Will you walk in wisdom or fall into complacency? Do not allow the enemy to trick you into thinking you have more time than you do. The adversary thrives in delay, in procrastination, in the lie of tomorrow. But the Spirit is saying, today, you prepare. Today, you strengthen your spirit. Today, you set your face like flint toward obedience. The truth is, you are different from those around you. You feel it. Even when you try to blend in, you are marked. You are set apart. That's why you don't fit in with the patterns of the world. That's why compromise leaves you feeling hollow. That's why, no matter how far you've wandered at times, something always pulls you back. You are chosen. Hear me. October 16 will not just be a date on the calendar, it will be a mirror that reveals who you truly are. Those who are asleep will stumble. Those who are alert will rise. You have been called to rise. This is why I am speaking directly to you, without hesitation. Not to everyone, but to you, because God's eyes are on you. His hand is upon you, and His voice is echoing. Do not ignore this prophetic date. Chosen one. Pause right now and respond with faith. Show heaven and earth that you are awake, that you are listening, that you are aligned. Declare it publicly. Declare it boldly. Comment below. 770. 7. A prophetic act. A number of divine alignment and spiritual completion. And if your spirit bears witness, do not leave without sealing this moment. Like this message. Share it so that others may be warned. And subscribe so you will not miss what heaven is about to release next. This is your confirmation. This is your moment of choice. October 16 is approaching. Be ready. Chosen one. When the sun sets and silence wraps itself around the earth, there are whispers that stir the soul. Have you felt it? In the deep of night, when no one else is awake, your spirit stirs. You sense the atmosphere shift. Though nothing in the room has changed, you hear what others dismiss as imagination. But you know better. Something unseen is reaching for you. These midnight stirrings are not accidents. They are invitations. You are not restless by coincidence. Heaven often speaks in the quiet hours when distractions are silenced and the world cannot drown out the eternal voice. The dreams you wake from and cannot shake. The words that echo in your spirit. The strange visions you see in fragments. These are signposts pointing toward October 16. You may not fully understand them yet. That is intentional. God reveals things piece by piece. So your faith is exercised. So your heart is positioned. So your dependence remains on Him rather than on your own intellect. The night whispers are there to shake you from complacency, to remind you that you are being watched over, to show you that you cannot ignore what is coming. Many times you've told yourself, it was just a dream, but when you woke up, your heart raced as if you'd touched eternity. You've dismissed the nudges as passing feelings, yet they return again and again. They return because they are not your thoughts. They are divine alerts. Your spirit knows the truth. Even when your mind resists, you must understand this. The spiritual world does not sleep. When your body rests, battle rage. When you drift into slumber, forces of light and darkness continue their struggle over your destiny. And often, God plants messages into your spirit while your defenses are lowered and your soul is more open to receive. That's why these night encounters feel so vivid, so undeniable. Chosen one. Pay attention to the whispers. Pay attention to the sudden wakefulness at 2 or 3, 0 inches the morning. Pay attention to the words or names that echo in your mind just before dawn. They are not random. They are not meaningless. They are clues. Breadcrumbs from heaven leading you closer to preparation for October 16. You may feel uneasy when these moments come. That is normal. The natural part of you resists what it cannot explain. But lean into the unease. Press into the mystery. Ask, what are you saying to me, Lord? Because in those questions, revelation is birthed. As was recorded in the ancient book of Job, chapter 33, verse 14. For God speaks in one way, and in two, though man does not perceive it. This scripture is a mirror of your experience. God speaks through the dreams you want to dismiss. God speaks through the repeated numbers that catch your attention. God speaks through the inner tugging that says, pay attention. The problem is not that He is silent. The problem is that many refuse to recognize His voice. But you are different. You have ears to hear. Do you see the pattern yet? Every restless night has been shaping you, softening your heart, preparing your ears. Every whisper has been heaven's way of ensuring that you do not walk blind into the day of October 16. While others will call it coincidence, you will recognize it for what it is, prophecy whispered in advance. Think of how many times you nearly missed it. You almost shrugged it off, almost drowned it with noise, almost allowed doubt to silence it. Yet the whispers persisted. That persistence is proof of God's love for you. He refuses to let you walk unprepared. He refuses to let you drift with the crowd. You are chosen, and chosen ones always receive advanced warning. This is why your nights have not been ordinary. This is why your dreams leave residue on your soul long after you awake. This is why you can't shake certain images, certain words, certain moments that play again and again in your memory. The Spirit is writing messages on your heart. October 16 is one of them. Do not despise these whispers. Do not long for something louder, more dramatic, more undeniable. The whispers are a gift. They require stillness. They require humility. They require attention. And those who honor the whispers will walk prepared when the storm rises. Chosen one. Your ability to listen now will be your strength. Then, October 16 is coming quickly. The storm gathers. The signs increase. And heaven continues to whisper your name in the night. When you wake suddenly, do not complain. When you dream vividly, do not dismiss. When you feel a weight in your spirit, do not ignore it. Recognize it. Lean into it. It is heaven calling, training, awakening you for the day that approaches. You are not like the rest. Others may sleep soundly through these stirrings, but not you. You are set apart. You are marked by divine whispers, and those whispers are leading you into a destiny you cannot yet imagine. But you will soon live. Chosen one. You are beginning to notice what others overlook. The world rushes on, blind and hurried. But you, your eyes catch the patterns woven through time. You sense that the events swirling around you are not random, but part of a design so intricate that only heaven could have authored it. October 16 is not merely a date on the page of a calendar. It is a marker in the eternal script, a point where hidden cycles converge, where prophecy aligns with reality. Look back and you will see the fingerprints of God across the days of your life. Things that seemed accidental were not accidents. Encounters that looked random were not chance. Wounds that felt unbearable were not without purpose. Patterns have always been forming around you. But now the veil lifts, and you begin to understand that every fragment has been pointing towards something greater. It is no coincidence that you have noticed certain numbers repeating themselves. No accident that moments feel familiar, as if you have walked them before. It is heaven whispering through repetition, urging you to pay attention. October 16 shines like a beacon because cycles are colliding. What was concealed is now being revealed. Others will laugh at the notion of patterns. They will call it superstition. But you know in your spirit that this is more. The divine story is written in layers, and only the chosen ones can trace its outline. You are one of them. That is why you are here. That is why your heart burns when you hear this message. That is why you cannot shake the sense that this date matters. According to what is revealed in the book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 2, it is the glory of God to conceal things, but the glory of kings is to search things out. Oh, Do you feel it? Chosen one. The patterns you see are not burdens, they are honors. To perceive what others cannot is proof that you carry the spirit of a king. The mantle of one entrusted with divine secrets. God hides mysteries not to withhold them, but to reward the hearts that seek. And you are among those seekers. This is why you cannot ignore October 16. It is not about fear, it is about alignment. If you follow the patterns, if you listen to the whispers, if you take seriously the cycles that heaven has placed before you, you will not be caught off guard. Instead, you will walk in step with the divine rhythm. Others will stumble in confusion, but you will move with clarity. Do not despise small confirmations, the repeating numbers, the sudden memories, the conversations that feel too timely to be ordinary. All of these are markers placed along your path. Every time they appear, they are heaven's way of saying, pay attention. The convergence is near. End. October 16 is a convergence, the weight of past prayers, the residue of previous seasons, the culmination of unfulfilled promises. They all collide in this date. It is the line where hidden patterns become visible, where what has been concealed comes into full light. So, what do you do with this knowledge? You do not run in fear. You do not hide in confusion. You acknowledge the pattern, and you position yourself accordingly. To see is a gift, but to act on what you see is wisdom. This is why I ask you, right here and now, to respond. Write it, not just for me, but as a prophetic declaration that you are paying attention. Type the words, I see it. Alu, do you realize what happens when you write those words? You are aligning your spirit with the vision. You are declaring that you will not live blind like the rest. You are standing as one who acknowledges the signs. You are telling heaven and earth that you refuse to walk in ignorance. When you comment, I see it, you are not merely typing, you are stepping into agreement with the revelation entrusted to you. Many will ignore this. They will scroll past, shrug, and dismiss. But you know better. You feel the urgency. You sense the weight. This is no random message. It is a summons, and your response matters. Chosen one. The patterns are speaking. Time itself is testifying. October 16 is etched into the eternal script, and your eyes have been opened to see it. Do not waste this gift. Do not silence your awareness. Embrace it. Honor it. Declare it. And when the day comes, you will stand steady, while others stumble. Remember, God conceals mysteries not to keep you in darkness, but to invite you into light. You are being invited. Step forward. Say yes. Recognize the signs. The pattern is unfolding before your very eyes. Chosen one. The atmosphere is shifting. Can you feel it? What once felt calm now carries an edge of tension. There is a storm gathering. Not the kind that moves across the sky with wind and rain, but the kind that shakes unseen realms and presses against the hearts of men. October 16 is not only a date, it is a gathering point where darkness seeks to converge, where powers beyond flesh and blood arrange themselves in formation. You may have already sensed it without having words for it. Perhaps you felt heaviness in your spirit, a restlessness that lingers no matter how much you try to distract yourself. Perhaps you've noticed resistance rising up against you, small conflicts turning into bigger ones, sudden weariness hitting you in ways you cannot explain. These are not coincidences. They are tremors before the quake, ripples before the wave. Understand this: when God reveals a date, the adversary also takes notice. The enemy does not sit quietly while heaven advances. He gathers his forces. He plots his schemes. He stirs confusion and fear. That is why October 16 carries such intensity, not only because of what God intends to release, but because of what the enemy will attempt to oppose. Look around you and see how the storm manifests. Relationships suddenly strained. Finances attacked. Thoughts clouded. Sleep disrupted. These are not random inconveniences. They are indicators that the storm is building. The closer the day approaches, the more the pressure mounts. The adversary hopes you will crumble before the moment arrives, that you will grow weary and retreat, that you will enter the day unprepared. But you must not fear. The storm, though real, is not stronger than the one who has chosen you. In fact, the very fact that the enemy is gathering should remind you of your importance. Armies do not rally against the weak or the irrelevant. They rise when they perceive a threat. You, chosen one, are that threat. Your obedience, your awakening, your alignment with heaven terrifies the darkness. The storm does not gather to destroy you. It gathers because it fears what you will become when October 16 arrives. The enemy knows that a shift is scheduled in the heavens. He cannot stop it, but he will try to distract you, weaken you, or cause you to abandon your position. That is his strategy, and that is why you are being forewarned. As the apostle wrote to the church in Ephesus, chapter 6, verse 12, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world." No, this is your reminder. The storm you sense is not against people. It is not against bosses, friends, or even family members. It is a spiritual clash, an unseen battle that spills over into visible moments. If you forget this, you will waste energy fighting the wrong enemies. But if you remember this truth, you will stand firm when the winds rise. Consider how storms work in the natural. Before the rain falls, the air grows heavy. The skies darken. The pressure shifts. Birds go silent. Nature itself prepares. In the same way, your spirit is sensing the spiritual atmosphere. That weight you've carried, that sudden silence you've noticed, it is creation groaning, preparing for what is about to unfold. Do not despise the storm. It is not only a test, it is a revelation. Storms reveal foundations. They expose what is strong and what is fragile. They strip away illusions and leave only truth. When October 16 comes, the storm will reveal who was prepared and who was asleep. And you, chosen one, are being prepared now so that when the winds blow, you remain unshaken. Yes, the darkness gathers. Yes, the enemy schemes. But do not forget, storms also clear the air. They uproot what does not belong. They prepare the ground for new growth. What looks destructive can become a doorway into transformation. This is the hidden truth of October 16. While the adversary believes he is rising against you, heaven is using the very storm to make way for your next season. Chosen one, pay attention to your heart in this hour. Do not allow fear to drive you. Fear is the language of the storm. but faith is the anchor in the midst of it. Hold fast to what you know. The gathering storm is not a sign that you are abandoned. It is a sign that you are at the center of something heaven has ordained. Do not run from the storm. Do not hide in denial. Stand and face it, knowing that you are not standing alone. Angels are positioned around you. The Spirit of God strengthens you. The words of prophecy sustain you. And though the darkness plots, it will not prevail. The storm is coming. Yes, but storms pass. And when this one passes, it will leave behind a new clarity, a purified strength, a deeper awareness of who you are and whose you are. October 16 will not mark your downfall. It will mark your unveiling. Chosen one. There comes a moment when the noise of life is interrupted by a voice that cannot be ignored. You have heard many voices, voices of fear, of doubt, of people who could not see the calling on your life. But when heaven speaks, everything else must fall silent. Right now, that voice is speaking to you, cutting through distractions, reminding you that your life is not ordinary. It is not a whisper of man, nor the fleeting thought of your own mind. It is the steady voice of the shepherd who knows his sheep by name, who calls them out of confusion, who leads them into green pastures, even in the midst of storms. You know that voice. It has followed you through sleepless nights. It has reached you in your darkest valleys. It has stirred your spirit in moments when you felt unseen. As it is declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 27, "My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me." Chosen one. This is why you are here. You are not here because of an algorithm or an accident. You are here because heaven wanted your ears open in this exact moment. You are being reminded that you are known, that you are seen, and that you are called to follow where he leads. And the path he is calling you toward requires preparation before October 16 arrives. Now, let me speak to you plainly. Messages like this are more than words. They are seeds. When planted in the right soil, they grow into strength, into courage, into direction. But seeds require care. They require water. They require the soil of community to protect them and help them flourish. That is where your role comes in. When you pause to like this message, you are not just clicking a button. You are saying, "This seed matters. This truth is worth watering." You are making sure that this seed doesn't die in the silence but continues to grow, reaching more hearts who need to be awakened just as you are being awakened now. When you share this message, you are scattering seed beyond your own field. Think of a torch carried in darkness. When you pass it on, others find their way. You may not know who among your friends or family is silently desperate for hope, but when you share, you become the very vessel that delivers light into their night. When you subscribe, you are choosing consistency. It is like returning to a well that never runs dry. Each time you draw near, you are refreshed. Each time you drink, you grow stronger. Subscribing means you refuse to let this be a passing moment. You want to walk continually in the stream of revelation. And if your heart feels moved to donate, know this: giving is not losing. It is planting. Farmers do not cry when they release seeds into the ground. They rejoice because they know a harvest is coming. In the same way, when you sow into this work, you are ensuring that the message of awakening can continue, reaching places you may never step foot in yourself. Your gift becomes a river that carries the word to the thirsty. This is not about pressure. This is about partnership. Think of Noah building the ark. He could not have done it without the labor of his hands and the obedience of his heart. Today, by standing with this message, by nurturing it with your engagement, by sowing into it with your resources, you are helping to build an ark of truth that will carry many safely through the flood of deception rising in the world. Chosen one. Every act of support, whether small or large, is a brick laid in that ark. Do not underestimate it. Even your like is a brick. Your share is a beam. Your subscription is a door that swings open to others. And your donation is like the pitch that seals the ark, ensuring that no storm can sink it. Together, these pieces create something far greater than one voice alone could accomplish. Chosen one. Your obedience today becomes your protection tomorrow. Your generosity today becomes your harvest tomorrow. Your engagement today ensures that others who are meant to awaken will also hear the voice calling them by name. Let your like be a seed. Let your share be a torch. Let your subscription be your well. And let your donation be the river that carries the message forward. In doing so, you are not just supporting, you are aligning with heaven's movement. The voice has spoken. It has called you. Now your response writes the next line of your story. Chosen one. You have felt the weight of time pressing closer. The invisible countdown that leads you toward October 16. By now you realize this is not simply a warning, it is an invitation to step into revelation. The mysteries of heaven are not scattered carelessly, they are arranged with precision, encoded in numbers, patterns, and signs that speak louder than the noise of the world. Numbers have always carried meaning, not because humans gave them power, but because the Creator himself embedded significance into them from the beginning of time. Think of the ancient stories. 7 signified completion. 40 marked testing and preparation. 12 revealed divine order. These were not coincidences. They were prophetic codes written into creation itself. And now, chosen one. You are being shown a number that carries weight for this season. 999. This is not just arithmetic. This is alignment. It is the whisper of heaven declaring that cycles are ending and fullness is at hand. The number 9 has always represented finality, the closing of one chapter before the opening of another. To see it in triple form is heaven's way of stamping the message with urgency. The time is now. Pay attention. Do not delay. God, October 16, is not random, it is positioned at the edge of a cycle. What has been hidden will be revealed. What has been delayed will be brought forth. And what has been opposed will meet divine conclusion. The repeating whispers you've been hearing, the dreams that haunt your nights, the stirrings in your spirit, they all point toward this convergence. And 999 is your prophetic signal that the old is closing and the new is breaking forth. Chosen one. Pause and let this sink deep into your spirit. You are standing at the edge of transition. Do you feel the weight of that? Every battle you've fought, every prayer you've cried, every door that slammed shut in your face, it all leads here. October 16 will mark the turning of the page, the shifting of the chapter. You are not just walking into another day, you are walking into a divine threshold. As the prophet Habakkuk was instructed concerning revelation in his time, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. Mate, that is what this number 999 is. For you, It is vision made plain. It is heaven writing a message so bold that you cannot overlook it. It is a reminder that you must run with this knowledge. Not crawl, not delay, not hesitate. Run into obedience, run into readiness. Run into the covering of God's presence as October 16 approaches. And here is your act of faith. Comment the number 999 below. This is not superstition, nor empty ritual. This is declaration. This is alignment. By typing that number, you are saying, I see the vision, I receive the warning, I am ready for the shift. When you write 999, you are not only speaking into the digital space, you are testifying in the spiritual realm. You are marking yourself as one who has heard and understood. You are declaring to heaven and hell alike, my eyes are open, my spirit is ready. I choose to step into the new. Understand this. Prophetic numbers are not just about prediction. They are about positioning. God does not show you 999 so you can stand still. He shows you so that you move in faith. Your willingness to acknowledge it, to declare it, to step into it, is part of your preparation for the storm and the shift that October 16 carries. Others may mock, others may dismiss, but chosen one, your obedience sets you apart. Many saw signs in the days of Noah, but few built the ark. Many heard whispers in the days of Elijah, but few responded. Do not let this be another moment where heaven spoke and you remained silent. Your declaration matters. So take this step now. Comment 999. Let your spirit testify that you are awake. Let your fingers put into action what your heart already knows. Every keystroke becomes an echo of obedience. Every number typed is a prophetic seal over your life. Chosen one, never forget, heaven has trusted you with secrets. The world may call them coincidences, but you know better. You see the patterns, you recognize the alignment, you understand that nothing is random. Not even this message, finding you at this very moment. October 16 is drawing near. The countdown grows louder. The cycles are closing, and the number 999 blazes before you like a divine marker on the path. Do not ignore it. Embrace it. Declare it. Align with it. And when the day arrives, you will not be caught off guard. You will be standing where heaven has called you to stand. Chosen one, beneath the surface of what you see, there is a war unfolding. Not a war fought with weapons of metal, but one waged in silence, in spirit, in unseen places where the destinies of men and women are weighed. You may not always feel it, but you are at the center of it. The reason October 16 has been highlighted to you is because that day marks a point of collision between heaven's assignment for your life and hell's resistance to it. This is not about superstition, nor about the fear of dates on a calendar. This is about spiritual reality. You are not called to drift aimlessly, to live and die without impact. You were marked with a purpose before you were born. And that purpose terrifies the darkness. The moment you opened your ears to hear the whispers of heaven, you became a target for the schemes of the enemy. That is why your battles have felt so intense, why your road has seemed harder than others, why your wounds sometimes run deeper than those around you. The adversary fights hardest against those who are carrying something worth fearing. If you wonder why the warfare around your life has been relentless, remember this. Weak soldiers do not attract heavy fire. It is those who carry real authority, real light, real destiny, who provoke such opposition. Remember what was declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 10. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. This is the essence of the war over you. The enemy seeks to steal your peace, to kill your hope, to destroy your calling. But Christ calls you into abundance, abundant life, abundant strength, abundant destiny. And October 16 is one of those hinge moments where the outcome of this war becomes visible. Chosen one. It is crucial that you recognize the reality of this conflict. Too many dismiss it, blaming only themselves, or blaming people around them, never seeing that the true battle is deeper. This blindness leaves them vulnerable, tossed about by attacks they do not even know how to resist. But your eyes are being opened. That is your protection. Awareness is your armor. Think of a battlefield hidden beneath a calm meadow. On the surface, flowers bloom, the grass sways, and the air feels still. But beneath the ground, armies are tunneling, clashing, advancing. That is your reality. You walk through the day smiling, but behind your smile you feel the weight of war. People misinterpret it, thinking you are simply anxious or overthinking. But heaven knows, and now you know that you are walking through a battleground others cannot see. This is why preparation matters. You cannot afford to live as if the world is neutral, as if your choices are meaningless. Every prayer you utter strengthens one side. Every compromise feeds the other. October 16 will not arrive in silence. It will be preceded by subtle tests of loyalty. Small choices that reveal whether your heart leans toward obedience or distraction. But take courage. You are not left powerless in this war. You are not left defenseless. Every weapon of darkness that rises against you is already anticipated by heaven, already met with a counter-strategy, already surrounded by angels sent to minister to you. You are not called to fight in despair, but to stand in victory. And here is the mystery. The silent war over you is also the clearest proof of your worth. If you carried nothing of value, the enemy would leave you alone. The intensity of the resistance is evidence of the greatness within you. The pressure of the battle is confirmation of the crown awaiting you. So, chosen one, lift your head. Do not grow weary at the sound of war drums. See them for what they are, fear in the camp of the enemy. Because they know you are awakening. They know you are learning to see. They know you are preparing for October 16. And they know that on the other side of that day, your obedience will ignite something they cannot stop. The silent war is real, but it is not endless. The storm gathers. Yes, but storms pass. And when this one passes, you will emerge, not weaker, but stronger, not empty, but full, not broken, but rebuilt. The war is fierce because the destiny is great. Never forget that. Chosen one. There is a loneliness that follows you, a sense of being different that has walked beside you for as long as you can remember. You have asked yourself, why can't I fit in? Why do I feel so set apart? Even when I try to blend in, this is no accident. This is no flaw. It is the mark of being chosen. October 16 will not only reveal hidden patterns and storms, it will also reveal why you have always carried that sense of being other For years, you may have mistaken it for rejection, for strangeness, even for punishment. But the truth is that heaven marked you long before the world had words to describe you. And because of that mark, you were never meant to feel at home in places where compromise reigns. The world misunderstands what it cannot explain. People around you may have called you strange, too sensitive, too intense, too different, but they never saw the full picture. They did not see the spiritual weight you carried. They did not hear the whispers you heard. They did not feel the stirring of eternity in your spirit. And so they misjudged you. They mistook divine uniqueness for weakness. Chosen one. This is the cost of being marked. To carry heaven's seal is to walk a road others do not understand. Sometimes it means being left out, overlooked, even despised. It means carrying loneliness in rooms full of people, because your spirit is attuned to a frequency others cannot hear. But do not despise this difference. What feels like rejection is often protection. What feels like abandonment is often divine separation, shielding you from influences that would have drowned out your purpose. You were never designed to live comfortably in darkness. Your light unsettles what others are content to accept. That is why you have faced resistance. That is why doors shut when you tried to walk with the crowd. That is why the world branded you misunderstood. And October 16 will make this truth undeniable. You are not meant to blend in. You are meant to stand out. As Jesus reminded his followers in the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verse 18, if the world hates you, know that it has hated me before it hated you. And 3, think back over your life. Every time you were laughed at for being different, every time you felt left behind because you didn't fit the mold, every time you sat alone wondering what was wrong with you, those moments were not wasted. They were shaping you into someone who cannot be seduced by shallow approval. They were teaching you to live for something higher than applause. October 16 will peel away the last illusions. It will show you, and those who doubted you, that your difference was never weakness. It was destiny. The mark you carry will speak louder than any words of those who misunderstood you. What once felt like isolation will be revealed as preparation. What once felt like rejection will be revealed as consecration. Chosen one. It is natural to long for acceptance. But hear this. You were not chosen for the comfort of fitting in. You were chosen for the courage of standing apart. The loneliness you have felt is the very sign that you are set aside for something holy. Others may be content to walk the easy road, but you cannot. Your spirit burns for something greater, and October 16 will be the day where that greater purpose begins to manifest in ways you cannot yet imagine. Do not waste time trying to convince the world to understand you. Their misunderstanding is part of the testimony. Your life will become its own proof. The fruit that flows from your obedience will silence the voices that once mocked you. The crown you carry will testify louder than their words ever could. So lift your head. Chosen one. Do not despise the mark of difference upon you. Do not mourn the friendships that never lasted, the groups you never belonged to, the doors that never opened. Every no was shaping you for a greater yes. Every rejection was clearing space for heaven's embrace. Every misunderstanding was pointing you toward a day like October 16, when the hidden seal of God on your life becomes visible. What once isolated you will soon elevate you. What once broke your heart will soon confirm your calling. You are not strange, you are chosen. You are not rejected, you are marked. You are not forgotten, You are remembered in the halls of heaven. The world may continue to misunderstand you, but heaven knows exactly who you are, and October 16 will prove it. Chosen one, the time to hesitate is over. The hour to wonder, to delay, to question if this truly matters has passed. October 16 approaches like the edge of a blade, sharp, unavoidable, decisive. This is not the moment to shrink back, nor the season to stand wavering between choices. You are being summoned to stand firm, to anchor yourself in the truth you have already received, to walk in courage even when the winds of resistance howl. Every chosen one must come to a point of decision. It is not enough to see the signs. It is not enough to recognize the patterns. It is not enough to sense the storm. At some point, you must rise from recognition to action. You must step from knowing into doing. This is where many stumble. They hear the warnings. They feel the urgency, but they remain passive. And passivity, in moments like these, is surrender. But you, chosen one, cannot afford to be passive. You are being called to take your stand. October 16 will reveal who was prepared and who was drifting. When the day comes, it will not matter how many times you were warned if you did nothing with the warning. That is why this moment is holy. It is your chance to declare, in faith and in resolve, that you will not be moved. Consider the words of the Apostle in his first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 16, verse 13. Be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. This scripture is not just a reminder, it is a commission. You are not being asked to hide, but to watch, not to crumble, but to stand firm, not to live in fear, but to act with strength. The days ahead will test you, but they will also reveal the steel heaven has placed within your soul. Standing firm does not mean life will suddenly grow easy. It means you decide, before the storm arrives, that nothing will shake you from the truth. It means you plant your feet so deeply in faith that when the winds of October 16 blow, you do not topple. It means you refuse to let the fear of what others think or the lies of the enemy dictate your response. Think of the tree that grows on a mountain cliff. The winds batter it. The storms try to uproot it. Yet its roots cling deep into the rock. That tree may bend, but it does not break. That is the image of who you are becoming. Chosen one. Life has tried to bend you, to snap you, to convince you that you are fragile. But in truth, your roots are deeper than you realize, and October 16 will prove it. Still, there is one step that seals this moment. A declaration. A choice made not in silence but spoken. Written. Marked so that both heaven and earth know where you stand. This is why I ask you, chosen one, to type these words now. I will stand. No, 3 simple words. Yet when you write them, you are not just leaving a comment. You are making a prophetic act. You are aligning your spirit with Scripture. You are saying to yourself, to the world, and to the unseen realm, I will not be shaken. I will not drift. I will not bow to fear. I will stand. Do not underestimate the power of this declaration. It may look small, but it is like planting a flag on a battlefield. The moment you type those words, you drive a stake of faith into the ground of your life. You claim territory that the enemy can no longer have. You announce that hesitation is over. that wavering is done, that your soul belongs to the God who has chosen you. October 16 will not wait for you to decide. The countdown moves forward, regardless of your pace. That is why you must choose now, not later. Strength does not appear by accident. It is forged in decisions like this one. When you declare, "I will stand," you are preparing your spirit for the day to come. You are clothing yourself in resolve. You are stepping into the identity heaven has always seen in you. Others may fold. Others may mock. Others may laugh at declarations of faith. But their laughter will fade when the storm reveals their lack of foundation. You, however, will endure, and endurance will become your testimony. Chosen one. This is your hour, not to run, not to shrink, not to hide, but to stand. October 16 is drawing near. Do not meet it wavering. Meet it standing. Write it. Declare it. Live it. And when the day arrives, you will find that heaven itself stands with you. Comment now, "I will stand." Chosen one. The warning grows louder. Each step toward October 16 feels heavier than the last. Not because you walk alone, but because heaven wants you fully awake. The closer we move to this prophetic threshold, the more urgent it becomes to keep your heart steady, your ears open, and your spirit aligned. Warnings are not sent to create panic. They are sent as mercy. They are heaven's way of placing a lantern in your hand before the night descends. But remember, even the brightest lantern cannot fulfill its purpose if it is hidden under a basket. Light is meant to shine, to spread, to guide others who cannot see. And this is where your role becomes vital. When you like this message, it is not just about boosting a number. Think of it as striking a match. A single flame in the dark may look small, but when others add their flames, the darkness begins to retreat. Your like is your spark. And when you join it with others, the glow spreads further than you realize. When you share, it is as though you are carrying that lantern into someone else's valley. You may not know who needs it, but heaven does. Perhaps a friend scrolling in despair. Perhaps a stranger on the edge of giving up. Your act of sharing becomes the hand that lifts them, the light that stops them from stumbling. You may never meet them, but eternity will record that you passed them a flame. When you subscribe, you are building something greater than a moment. You are constructing a well. Wells are dug once, but they serve for generations. Subscribing is you saying, "I will not only drink today, I will return tomorrow, and the day after, because this is a source of life." And in returning, you strengthen not only yourself, but the entire community of chosen ones who gather here. And yes, if you feel led to donate, hear me with the gentleness of truth. Giving is not loss. It is investment. It is like planting trees you may never sit under, but others will find shade in. It is like pouring oil into a lamp, ensuring the flame does not die out. Your donation keeps this light burning, not for me alone, but for countless others who have yet to awaken. Think of the parable of the boy with 5 loaves and 2 fish. He gave what seemed small, but in the hands of the master, it fed thousands. In the same way, what you release, even if it looks small in your eyes, multiplies beyond your imagination. It becomes bread for the hungry, hope for the weary, a word in season for those who have no strength left. Chosen one. October 16 is not far off. Messages like this are lifeboats before the waves crash. Imagine a vast ocean where people drift without direction. Each like is an oar. Each share is a rope thrown to someone sinking. Each subscription is a sail raised to carry the boat forward. And each donation is a sturdy plank that keeps the vessel afloat. Together, they build something that not only carries you, but rescues others from the waters. You may wonder, does my small action really matter? The answer is yes. Always, yes. Drops of rain look insignificant, but they carve rivers through stone. Pebbles seem weak, yet they form mountains over time. In the same way, your single act of support becomes part of a much greater movement, a flow of light and truth that cannot be contained. Let me speak to your heart plainly. I am not asking because of need alone. I am asking because you are meant to be a builder, not just a receiver. Chosen ones do not sit idly while others labor. They put their hands to the work. They pour their oil into the lamps. They plant their seeds into the soil. That is what keeps the message alive. What ensures the warning continues to sound. What allows others to awaken before the day arrives. As the prophet Amos declared, chapter 3, verse 7, "Surely the Lord God does nothing without revealing his secret to his servants, the prophets." The warning is intensifying. Chosen one. October 16 is almost here. Do not only prepare yourself, help prepare others. Be the one who lights a torch, digs a well, builds a lifeboat, plants a tree, and in doing so, you will discover that the very act of supporting this message strengthens your own spirit for the storm that lies ahead. Your light matters. Your flame counts. Your act of faith builds something that will outlast the storm. Stand with this work. Partner with heaven's voice. And when October 16 dawns, you will not only be ready, you will know you helped others be ready too. Chosen one. Preparation is not always loud. It is not always visible. Often, the deepest strengthening happens in silence, when no one is watching, when no applause is heard, when the world does not notice. You are being led into this kind of preparation. It is not about dramatic displays or public declarations. It is about the quiet disciplines that anchor your soul before October 16 arrives. Think of a soldier before battle. He does not only sharpen his sword when the enemy appears at the gate, he sharpens it daily. Long before the first clash of steel, he oils his armor, strengthens his body, and trains his reflexes in hidden places, so that when the day of battle comes, he is not scrambling to prepare, he is already ready. That, chosen one, is what heaven is calling you into. Hidden preparation. Your prayers in the secret place are not wasted. Every whispered word, every sigh when no one else hears, every tear shed before God, they build unseen strength. The world may dismiss it as weakness, but heaven records it as power. Those secret moments are laying foundations beneath your feet. And when the storm of October 16 shakes the ground, it is those foundations that will hold you steady. Do not underestimate the power of unseen obedience. The things you choose in silence matter as much, if not more, than what you declare in public. Every time you turn your eyes away from compromise, every time you silence a lie with truth, every time you choose prayer over distraction, you are fortifying yourself. You are building walls that the enemy cannot breach. This is the paradox of preparation. It feels small while you are doing it, but it proves mighty when it is tested. A single brick does not look impressive, but brick by brick, a fortress rises. In the same way, your daily prayers, your steady choices, your quiet sacrifices may not feel significant in the moment, but together they form the fortress of your spirit. Remember the words of Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 6. But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father, who is unseen. Len, this is not just instruction, it is invitation. An invitation into intimacy, into strength, drawn from hidden communion. It is in that secret place where God whispers what no one else hears, where He reveals what cannot be spoken in crowded rooms. It is there that you are prepared for days like October 16, chosen one. Preparation is also about discernment. Not every voice deserves your ear. Not every path deserves your steps. In this season, heaven calls you to filter carefully what you consume, what you allow into your spirit, what you meditate on. It shapes your readiness. Garbage in, weakness out, truth in, strength out. October 16 will test what you have allowed to take root within you. It is time to choose discipline over distraction. The hours wasted on what does not nourish you are hours stolen from your preparation. This is not a call to harsh striving, but to wise stewardship. Time is precious, and the days ahead require your spirit awake, not dulled by noise. Every choice you make now is a seed sown into the harvest of October 16. But do not think of preparation as duty alone. It is also privilege. You are being invited into a holy place where heaven meets you in ways others may never experience. The world rushes on in blindness, but you are called to linger in presence. What feels like sacrifice, turning aside distractions, giving up fleeting pleasures, becomes the very soil where revelation blooms. Consider how David tended sheep in obscurity before he ever faced Goliath. His songs in the wilderness, his courage against the lion and the bear, his faithfulness when no one saw those hidden preparations became the foundation of his victory. In the same way, your private faithfulness is shaping you into someone who will not tremble when giants appear. October 16 is a day of unveiling, but what is unveiled will depend on what has been built in secret. If you prepare now, you will stand then. If you strengthen your spirit now, you will not falter when the winds rise. The hidden place is not wasted time, it is the very womb where victory is conceived. Chosen one, do not despise the silence. Do not resent the hiddenness. Do not think the small daily prayers and choices mean little. They mean everything. They are your preparation, your armor, your fortress. And when the day arrives, you will find that heaven has equipped you in ways you did not even realize. So, embrace the hidden preparation, enter your room, close the door, and pray. Turn your heart away from distraction and toward truth. Guard your spirit with discipline and strength. October 16 is approaching, but you will not face it empty-handed. You will face it armed with everything heaven has built in secret. Chosen one, do you feel it? The hours are slipping by, like sand through an hourglass. And October 16 draws near with unstoppable certainty. Heaven is not silent about this moment. The countdown has already begun, not measured in the ticking of clocks, but in the alignment of destinies. Every whisper you have heard, every sign you have noticed, every stirring in your heart, they all build toward this appointed time. It is not for nothing that the Spirit presses you to number your days. There is power in recognizing the brevity of time, in seeing that you cannot drift endlessly without direction. October 16 is not just a date, it is a divine checkpoint. A prophetic milestone where heaven's plans intersect with your obedience. Think of a runner on the track. He does not wait until the finish line to prepare his stride. Ich lep matters. Each step counts. Each breath carries weight. October 16 is not only about that one day, it is about how you live leading up to it. The countdown has already started, and heaven is watching how you align yourself. As the psalmist prayed in the book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse 12, teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Oh, this is the call. Chosen one, not to drift, not to waste, but to awaken. Number your days. Recognize that every sunrise is one less before October 16 arrives. Each day is a gift. Each hour an invitation. Each moment a chance to step deeper into the preparation heaven has been urging you toward. Do not fall into the trap of thinking there is still plenty of time. Delay is the language of the enemy. Procrastination is the subtle thief of destiny. Heaven is urging you now. Pay attention. The countdown is real. Do not waste what remains. And this is why a prophetic number is placed before you, not as superstition, but as a sign of alignment. Today, heaven invites you to declare 444. Why 444? Because 4 has always represented foundations, stability, and divine order. The earth itself rests on 4 corners. The throne of God is surrounded by 4 living creatures. The number 4 whispers of structure, of grounding, of pillars that hold steady. And to see it repeated in triple form is heaven's way of underscoring the message. It is time to secure your foundation. All, chosen one. October 16 will shake what is unstable, but if your foundation is firm, you will not be moved. Declaring 444 is not about digits on a screen, it is about agreement with heaven's call to stand on solid ground. It is your way of saying, I choose order over chaos, truth over lies, wisdom over folly. I will not build on sand, I will anchor myself in rock. End 4. So, write it boldly now, 444. Let your spirit bear witness that you are not asleep. Let your declaration become a seed of wisdom planted in your future. When you type those numbers, you are aligning yourself with stability in a world that trembles. You are choosing to stand when others collapse. You are acknowledging that the countdown is real, and you will not waste your days. October 16 is not the end of all things. It is the closing of one chapter and the opening of another. The countdown is not meant to terrify you, but to focus you. The numbering of your days is not to make you fearful, but to make you wise. Heaven is not calling you into panic, but into preparation. Do not look at the clock with dread. Look at it with clarity. Every tick is not loss, it is invitation. Every passing day is another chance to plant prayers, to sow obedience, to strengthen your spirit. When the day arrives, those seeds will bear fruit. But if you waste the time, you will stand with empty hands. Chosen one. The countdown is sacred. It is heaven's way of telling you, the day matters. The season matters. Your choices matter. October 16 will reveal what you did with the time given to you. That is why the Spirit presses you so firmly now. Why the urgency grows louder with each passing word. Declare it. Embrace it. Let your fingers write the numbers that testify of your alignment. Type 444. And as you do, see it not as digits, but as a banner over your life. The countdown is real, but so is your preparation. And because you are awake, because you are listening, because you are numbering your days, you will not stumble when October 16 arrives. You will stand. Chosen one. The closer you draw to October 16, the clearer the battle lines become. What once felt like confusion begins to reveal itself as a deliberate strategy. The enemy has never acted randomly. His moves are precise, calculated, designed to exploit weakness and distort truth. For too long, many have walked blind, thinking their struggles were ordinary, their pain meaningless, their delays accidental. But now the veil is being pulled back, and you are being shown the blueprint of opposition. Understand this: the enemy's plot has always centered on distraction. If he cannot destroy you outright, he will pull you into endless cycles of busyness, doubt, and compromise. He hopes to drain your strength before you ever reach the moment of breakthrough. October 16 is significant precisely because it marks the disruption of these cycles. It is the day heaven intends to expose the schemes and reset the path for those who are listening. Think back over your journey. How many times have doors almost opened but closed suddenly? How often have relationships started with promise but ended with confusion? How many times have you felt momentum only to find yourself back at the beginning again? These are not random failures. They are patterns orchestrated by a spiritual enemy who fears what you carry. But here is the truth. To see the plot is to break its power. The enemy thrives in shadows. But the moment light shines, his strategies lose their grip. This is why heaven reveals what lies beneath October 16, not to frighten you, but to free you. Once you know the plan of the adversary, you are no longer a pawn in his game. You become a warrior who can move with discernment and precision. The enemy's blueprint often hides in ordinary struggles. He disguises spiritual traps as daily inconveniences so that you dismiss them as coincidence. But when your eyes are opened, you begin to see his fingerprints on repeated frustrations, on cycles that never seem to end. What you once accepted as life is unmasked as strategy. And the unmasking itself is breakthrough. Chosen one. Once light shines on the hidden plan, the battlefield shifts. You are no longer fighting blindly. You are discerning every step with wisdom. What seemed overwhelming becomes manageable because you now see the design behind it. October 16 carries this unveiling power. It is the day when shadows scatter, when the enemy's map is exposed, and when heaven's path forward grows clear. As the prophet Isaiah recorded in chapter 54, verse 17, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and you shall refute every tongue that rises against you in judgment." That declaration belongs to you, chosen one. The devices of the enemy are real, but they will not prosper against one who walks in truth. His blueprint may be detailed, but it cannot withstand the shield of faith and the authority of the word spoken over your life. The adversary works in familiar ways. He stirs delay, stretching time until you feel weary. He throws distraction, filling your path with noise until you lose focus. He causes division, tearing relationships so that unity is broken. He whispers deception, repeating lies until they sound like truth. You have seen these patterns before. They are not new, only recycled in new disguises. Yet now you see them for what they are. Delay is not your destiny. Distraction does not define you. Division is not the final word. Deception cannot hold you captive. The blueprint of darkness has been revealed, and revelation itself is victory. October 16 is not merely a date. It is a line of exposure. It will show you where the enemy tried to entangle you and where heaven has set you free. It will reveal how much strength you have gained through battles that once felt unbearable. It will confirm that you are not walking blindly, but with sight sharpened by discernment. Chosen one. Awareness is your weapon. To recognize the strategy is to already weaken its grip. The enemy thrives in secrecy, but he trembles when light shines. That light now rests upon you. You are no longer ignorant. You are awake. You are ready. So lift your head with courage. Do not be afraid of what is uncovered. The schemes of the adversary are nothing compared to the design of heaven. His blueprint is fragile paper, but heaven's design is unshakable stone. October 16 will not reveal your defeat, but your victory. It will not show your weakness, but your strength. Walk forward with boldness. You carry light. You carry discernment. You carry truth. And no weapon formed against you will prosper. Chosen one. The time of shifting has arrived. You have sensed the gathering storm. You have endured the weight of isolation. You have seen the patterns of destiny aligning before your eyes. Now, the heavens themselves begin to stir. October 16 is not simply a day marked by men. It is a moment of rearrangement. When unseen realms tilt and spiritual atmospheres are altered forever. Every age carries turning points. Days when the world appears the same, yet everything has changed. You are standing on the threshold of such a day. The shift in the heavens may not be seen with natural eyes, but your spirit feels it. It is like the sudden stillness before an earthquake, the quiet moment before the wind bends the trees. Something unseen presses close, waiting to be unveiled. When heaven shifts, the earth must respond. What has been locked tight begins to open. What has been delayed for years begins to move. What has been hidden comes into light. This is why October 16 matters, because heaven's alignment will ripple outward, affecting your life, your path, even the atmosphere around you. It is not an accident that you are here to hear this. It is preparation. Because when heaven moves, you must move with it. The words of Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 18, remind you of this eternal truth. Whatever you bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Ender. This is not symbolic. It is authority. It is the partnership between heaven and earth, between divine will and human obedience. The shift in the heavens grants you access to bind what has held you captive and to loose what has been waiting to be released. October 16 is not a date of passivity. It is a moment to walk into alignment with the authority that has always been yours. Chosen one. The shift will not only affect you, it will ripple outward into those connected to you. Families will feel it. Communities will sense it. Environments that once felt hostile will suddenly soften. People who dismissed you will begin to see you differently. The shift is not only about your private breakthrough, but also about the visible testimony of God's hand on your life. Yet with every shift comes tension. As tectonic plates move, the ground shakes. As heavens align, the earth feels pressure. Do not mistake the pressure for punishment. The unease you feel, the stretching, the disorientation, that is the evidence that movement is happening. You are not losing control, you are stepping into divine order. Chosen one. You must learn to discern between the shaking of destruction and the shaking of renewal. October 16 carries the latter. It is not a shaking meant to tear you apart, but to rebuild you stronger. To dislodge what no longer belongs. To clear space for what heaven is planting. Just as a forest fire clears dead wood so that new growth can thrive. This shift removes what has hindered you so that destiny can finally flourish. Think also of the potter's wheel. Clay must spin, pressed and shaped. Before it becomes a vessel of beauty, the spinning feels dizzying, the pressure uncomfortable, but the end result is something purposeful. October 16 is part of your wheel. Heaven is shaping you, aligning you, pressing you, not to break you, but to reveal the vessel you were always meant to become. Do not resist the shift. Resistance will only exhaust you. Instead, lean into it with trust. Trust that the same hand that shakes the heavens is the hand that holds you steady. Trust that the same voice that commands stars into orbit is the voice that whispers your name in the night. Trust that the shift is not to harm you, but to position you. Chosen one. Prepare yourself, not with fear, but with expectation. When the heavens shift, answers, long delayed, will suddenly appear. When the heavens shift, battles that seemed endless will find resolution. When the heavens shift, paths hidden in shadow will be illuminated. October 16 is not the end. It is the beginning of something new written over your life. Lift your eyes, for the heavens are moving. Stand steady, for the earth is about to echo with change. And when the day arrives, you will know beyond all doubt that what was spoken to you in whispers has become reality. October 16 is your marker of divine alignment. The shift is here, and you are ready to step into it. Chosen one. The threshold is here. October 16 is no longer distant, it is upon you. The day that has been whispered, warned, and woven into your spirit is unfolding. It is not simply another sunrise on the calendar. It is the crossing of a line, the stepping through of a door. From this moment forward, nothing will remain as it was. You may feel the weight of decision pressing against your chest. This is because October 16 demands a response. You cannot hover in between, cannot drift on the tide of indecision. To cross the threshold is to choose. Heaven asks, and your heart must answer. The path splits in two, obedience or resistance, awakening or slumber, courage or compromise. The words of Joshua thunder with authority in chapter 1, verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord, your God, will be with you wherever you go. This scripture is not merely history. It is your present. October 16 is your choose this day. You are not here by accident. You are standing at the same crossroads, called to declare where your loyalty rests. Crossing thresholds is never easy. It feels like stepping into the unknown, leaving behind the comfort of the familiar. But consider what happens when a seed crosses the threshold of the soil. It pushes past the darkness, splitting open, breaking through. Painful, yes, but necessary for life to emerge. October 16 is that breaking through moment for you. And here is the truth. You are not meant to walk through alone. Crossing thresholds requires community, encouragement, support. That is why what you do here matters. Every time you like this message, you are adding your voice to the chorus, saying, I stand with this. It is like lighting a candle in a hallway others must walk through. Your flame shows them the way. When you share, it is as if you are holding open a door for someone else. You do not know who is behind you, on the path, someone weary, someone uncertain, someone trembling on the edge of despair. By sharing, you are the hand that says, come with me. This door is for you too. When you subscribe, you are choosing not just to cross once, but to walk in step continually. Think of it like traveling with companions. Alone, you may stumble, but with a community, you find rhythm, strength, and encouragement. Subscribing is saying, I refuse to walk this road isolated. I will return, again and again, to the place where my spirit is strengthened. And when you donate, you are laying stones on the path so that others may cross safely after you. It is like building a bridge across a rushing river. Your act of generosity ensures that the message continues, that the light does not go out, that others who must cross their own October 16 moments will not stumble for lack of guidance. What you release becomes the structure someone else will lean on when they are weak. Do not underestimate these actions. They are not small. They are prophetic acts. Each one writing testimony into your story. Together, they say, I have chosen, I have crossed, I will not go back. Chosen one. Pause here and let your spirit respond. October 16 is the threshold. You are stepping forward, not backward. And as you do, I ask you to anchor your choice with words. Leave a mark in the comments. I choose my crown. Why these words? Because a crown is not given to the hesitant, it is given to the faithful, to the ones who endure, to those who walk through doors others fear. By writing, I choose my crown, you are declaring, I will not settle for shadows. I will not surrender to fear. I will step through, and I will take hold of what heaven has promised. It may feel simple, but every declaration has weight. These words become like a stone set in the foundation of your spirit. They remind you when you doubt. They testify when the enemy accuses. They shine as proof that you chose courage when hesitation pressed heavy, and when you act liking, sharing, subscribing, giving. You are weaving together not only your own testimony, but also the testimony of countless others who walk this same path. Together, your voices rise, your flames join, your steps strengthen the ground beneath. October 16 is not the end. Chosen one. It is the crossing into something new. You will look back and say, that was the day the old ended. That was the day the new began. That was the day I chose. So light your candle with a like. Hold open the door with a share. Walk in step with a subscription. Build the bridge with a donation. And seal it with your words. I choose my crown. The threshold is here. Step boldly. The heavens have shifted. The earth responds. And your crown awaits. Chosen one. The day has come and gone. October 16. The prophetic marker that loomed on the horizon has passed. And now, in the aftermath, you stand in a space of clarity. What felt uncertain before now takes shape. What seemed heavy in the days leading up to it now reveals its meaning. The air feels different, as though something invisible has been shifted permanently. You may look around and wonder why the world still appears the same. The sky still stretches blue. The streets still hum with routine. The faces of others still wear their usual expressions. Yet, within the unseen, everything has changed. For you, October 16 was not about external fireworks, but about the rearrangement of foundations. It was about the unveiling of what was hidden, the dividing line between what was and what is. Think back over the weight you carried before this day, the storms you sensed, the whispers that pressed into your nights, the tension you could not shake. All of it was preparing you. And now, as you walk forward, you realize those struggles were not in vain. They were training ground, forging strength within you, cultivating discernment, shaping your heart to withstand what lies ahead. The aftermath of obedience is always favor. When you heed the voice of God, when you align yourself with His warnings and His whispers, you position yourself under His covering. October 16 was not about fear, but about positioning. And because you listened, you now walk in a new measure of protection, a new flow of guidance, a new clarity of vision. As the prophet Isaiah proclaimed in chapter 1, verse 19, "If you are willing and obedient, you shall eat the good of the land." The aftermath of obedience does not always come in sudden bursts of abundance. Sometimes it shows up in subtle ways. First, a peace that steadies your mind where anxiety once ruled, a door that quietly opens after years of being shut, a relationship restored, a burden lifted, a prayer answered in the stillness. These are not small things. They are the signs of heaven's response to your faithfulness. Chosen one. Do not despise the subtle shifts. Too many miss their blessings because they are looking only for the spectacular, but the aftermath of obedience is often like dawn. At first, only a faint glow touches the horizon. Then slowly, steadily, the world grows brighter until the sun stands high in the sky. That is how favor flows first, as a glow, then as a blaze. You may already sense it. Perhaps your spirit feels lighter. Perhaps clarity is coming into focus. Perhaps strength you didn't know you had is rising within you. This is the fruit of October 16. This is the outcome of standing firm while others drifted. This is the reward of faith. But remember, the aftermath of obedience is also responsibility. Favor is never given for comfort alone. It is given for assignment. The good of the land is not just for you to enjoy, but for you to steward. Heaven blesses you so that you may bless others. Heaven covers you so that you may extend covering to those who are still vulnerable. Heaven strengthens you so that you may help others find their footing. Chosen one. Take time to reflect in this aftermath. Look back and see the ways God's hand has carried you. Notice the places where you could have been lost but were preserved. Count the times when you thought you would break. Yet, you did not. Every moment was shaping you for now. and every victory you carry now is a seed for others who will come after you. October 16 was never just about a single day. It was about the shift that extends beyond it, the ripple effect that will continue to touch your days, your choices, your future. What you do in this aftermath matters just as much as what you did in preparation. Walk wisely, live alert, remain anchored, because the favor that rests upon you now is meant to multiply, not fade. Chosen one. The aftermath of obedience is not silence, it is the beginning of a new song. It is the echo of your prayers answered, the sound of chains broken, the rhythm of steps moving in alignment. Do not waste it. Walk boldly in it, and let this season of aftermath become the foundation for greater things yet to come. You are covered. You are strengthened. You are walking in the good of the land. This is the fruit of listening, the reward of obedience, the blessing of October 16, and it will not fade. It will grow. It will multiply. It will follow you into every tomorrow that lies ahead. Chosen one. Now, you stand beyond the day that heaven marked. October 16 has passed, and yet its echoes continue to resound in your spirit. You are no longer looking toward it with trembling anticipation. You are standing on the other side, holding the proof that God has carried you through. This is not the end of the story. It is the beginning of another chapter, one that crowns you for the journey ahead. You may look back at all the warnings, all the whispers, all the preparation, and wonder why heaven spoke with such urgency. The reason is clear now. October 16 was never about a single moment, but about who you would become after it. It was about the unveiling of strength you did not know you carried. It was about proving that you are more than a survivor. You are a torchbearer. The crown placed upon your life is not made of gold and jewels, but of authority and calling. It is the recognition that you endured what many could not, that you stood where others faltered, that you held firm when storms pressed against you. Crowns are not handed cheaply. They are given to those who overcome. And you, chosen one, have overcome. The Apostle Paul once wrote of this in his second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8. Henceforth there is laid up for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. This promise is not distant. It has begun even now. The crown of righteousness is not only for eternity, but also for seasons like this one. When heaven recognizes the faithfulness of the chosen, you wear it as testimony that you belong to the Lord, that your life is sealed with His authority, that your destiny is unstoppable. Chosen one, think of the crown as both reward and responsibility. To wear it means to shine. A crowned one cannot hide in shadows, cannot blend in with crowds, cannot pretend to be ordinary. A crown makes you visible, sets you apart, calls you higher. It is not for vanity, it is for mission. You are being sent into the world as a light, as a carrier of what you have endured, as a witness of what God has done. The journey ahead will call you to step into places that once intimidated you, but with the crown upon your head, fear loses its voice. You will walk into rooms and shift atmospheres without saying a word. You will speak and chains will loosen. You will pray and heavens will open. The authority resting on you is not of your own making. It is the overflow of being chosen and faithful. October 16 will forever be a marker in your story. but it will not define you by itself. It is the doorway, not the destination. The destination is the life you now step into, a life of clarity, courage, and crowned authority. This is not the time to look backward in longing, but forward in expectancy. The same God who brought you through this day will lead you into the days to come with even greater purpose. And let me tell you this, your testimony will not remain yours alone. Others will hear it. Others will see it. Others will be strengthened by it. The crown you wear will inspire those still fighting their storms. Your endurance will become their courage. Your breakthrough will become their hope. That is the nature of crowns. They shine, not only for the one who wears them, but for all who look upon them. Chosen one, embrace this new season. Walk with your head lifted high, not in arrogance, but in holy confidence. The world may not understand the weight you carry, but heaven has confirmed it. You are a torchbearer now, one who lights the way for others. You are crowned not only for survival, but for leadership, for impact, for destiny. And though battles may rise again, you will not face them as you once did. You will face them crowned. You will face them marked. You will face them with the memory of October 16 burning in your spirit, reminding you that you are never abandoned, never forgotten, never ordinary. This is who you are, a chosen one, crowned for the journey ahead. The threshold has been crossed. The storm has passed. The shift has occurred. And now you walk forward clothed in light. You are not the same as you were. You are more. You are crowned, chosen one. You have walked with me through every section, through every whisper, warning, and unveiling. Now you stand fully on the other side of October 16, not as one who trembles in fear, but as one awakened, strengthened, and crowned. This is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of a greater unfolding, where your life becomes a living testimony of what heaven can do with a willing heart. But understand this, a flame burns brighter when it is not kept alone. Every light you give is like adding oil to that flame, ensuring it will not be extinguished. When you share, it is as if you are passing your torch to someone wandering in darkness, someone who may desperately need this same light. Your comment is more than text. It is your declaration carved into the fabric of this moment. By writing words of faith, you are saying, I was here, I heard, I received, I stand. Let your comment be a memorial stone, reminding both you and others of the turning point you stepped into. When you subscribe, you are choosing to remain connected to the stream of words that sustain your spirit. A single drink refreshes, but a flowing river nourishes continually. Staying connected means never running dry, never walking alone, always returning to the well that strengthens you. And if your heart is stirred to donate, know this: your seed becomes a bridge for others to cross into their own awakening. Just as you were carried here by words spoken in season, your gift ensures those words continue, reaching souls you may never meet, but whose lives will be forever changed. So, chosen one, walk crowned into your future. Carry the flame, share the light, and never forget you are chosen, marked, and unstoppable.